licensing or not. I'll request Mr. Lukele to assist in terms of highlighting the key issues in this application and just emphasize on the process of informing a Department of Mineral Resources and Energy of the outcome. Thank you. Through you, Chair, Mr. Lukele.
Thank you. Maybe before Mr. Lukele proceeds, I'd just like to state that all the presenters must take the matters as read and take no more than 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes to just give the highlights. If it is including other people in terms of explaining the presentation, it will also, that 3 minutes should cover all of them. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Lukele.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to everyone. The purpose of this submission, Chair, is to request the REC to approve that certain storage facilities do not require licensing as provided for by Section 15, subsection 2A of the Petroleum Pipelines Act, as well as the bulk storage determination made by the Energy Regulator on 26 May 2016. The details of the storage facilities is 4 in total, are provided from paragraph 22 of the submission, with the biggest facility here with that the biggest facility of the 4 has a combined design capacity of 79 cubic meters, and all these facilities are below the current bulk threshold of 1,500 cubic meters, and therefore are recommended to be excluded from licensing. And Chair, I would just like to apologize just for 2 errors. One is on paragraph 22. In that respect, the tanks are indeed, there are 3 tanks above ground. However, the capacities there, one is with the design capacity of 56 cubic meter, and then the other 2, each is 14 cubic meter, Chair, not 23. And however, the total is correct at 74. The other one is on paragraph 30. The total there, Chairs, it's supposed to be 78. However, throughout the document is then in the subsequent paragraph, it's cited correctly. The recommendations are on paragraph on page 12, in which it is recommended that the REC approves that the 4 storage facilities listed therein do not require licensing in terms of the Petroleum Pipelines Act. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lukele. Any questions, comments, as well as guidance from the members? Thank you, Madam Maseti.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I do support the recommendation. I just wanted to check, maybe because it's now 5 years by end of this financial year, or even end of this year, it will be 5 years since we have adopted and implemented the bulk determination. So I think it will be good time for NERSA now to check the impact of this, and also even with the interactions with the DOE, DMRE, as we know that we were not aligned in the way that we have interpreted this. I think it is important now, after 5 years, that we revisit this and also try to find some alignment and some agreements with the DOE, DMRE with regards to the way that we are treating these facilities, given the size thereof. It is just unfortunate that they were not quick enough to review legislation so that they can take into account what the regulator is concerned about in terms of ensuring that we do not or we reduce a regulatory burden. And where we need not intervene by regulation, the department should take those things into consideration. So I thought it is something that we can again revisit, Chairperson. Then the second thing about this, Chair, is about the aggregation of the volumes given the 5 years now. So that, remember, in Petroleum Pipelines Act, we do not have registration like we'll have in electricity and gas, so that we'll know the annual volumes, and so that at least we can be in a better position to say what could be the effect of this in the way that they work. So we don't have that. Perhaps it's another thing that over the 5 years, we also able to quantify the volumes and the location of these facilities, and then have to aggregate the total volumes of this and see what is it that we can advise based on the volumes. So I thought, Chairperson, those two things are things that we need to consider going forward as we proceed with the implementation of the bulk determination. Otherwise, I support the recommendations, Chair. Thank you. It's for improvement.
Thank you very much, Madam Massetti. I also support this submission as a signatory. I'm a bit disappointed from the fact that the first issue that you mentioned in terms of bulk determination, that was the guidance was given to the team in me signing off. It was subject to that to say include the high level program or plan around the review of the bulk determination, just to set people at ease. And also in terms of the amendment of the Petroleum Pipelines Act, we had provided some suggestions in the department, I think as early as around 2018 when I joined, and nothing has actually changed with regard to us having the stance that we need to, as well as also as part of harmonizing with the other pieces of legislation for the two other sectors that NERSA regulates, that we look at registration and being clear in terms of exemptions from licensing, amongst other things, as well as looking also with regard to the bidding process, which is maybe an equivalent of the Section 34 in terms of the Electricity Regulation Act. But to date, no headway has been made in this regard. And I think that in all the submissions going forward that deals with exemption from licensing in terms of the bulk determination, these issues must stand out very clearly. I think it is loud and clear. I hope it is understood, Madam Twa and the team.
Yes, Chair. I think if you check paragraph 17, we have indicated that in the PPS of 19 January, we will provide the reports as requested at RC of 24 October. So we are working on that, Chairperson. Thanks.
But I think, as I said, it must be indicative plans and not just to say it's being dealt with in the other committee. It must be more indicative to say this is when we are looking at reviewing it at a high level. Well, I'm not looking here in terms of a day and a month per se, but if we talk maybe in terms of the quarter or a particular financial year, this will be done like by end of next financial year. We envisage that will be done with the bulk determination review. So let us be a bit more clearer in this regard, please. Going forward.
Thanks, Chair.
All right.
Thanks.
Can we then, colleagues, Madam CEO, are you happy with the recommendation and the submission as such?
Yes, I do. Subject to those enhancements that members have proposed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So subject to the enhancements that have been provided to the team, the recommendation is for the REC to approve that the following storage facilities do not require licensing in terms of the Petroleum Pipelines Act number 60 of 2003. There are 1, Gauteng Truck Stop and Diesel Depot, Pty Ltd, with its existing storage facility in Germiston, Gauteng Province. 2, Stegler Brews, Pty Ltd, with its existing storage facility in Mossel Bay, Western Cape Province. 3 is Tabi Transport Pty Ltd with its existing storage facility in St. Helena, Western Cape Province. And lastly and fourthly is the Yafa Holdings Pty Ltd's existing storage facility in Cape Town, Western Cape Province. By show of hands, members, if you support this recommendation. Thank you, Madam Massetti. I also do, and also thanks, Advocate Stolle. This then concludes.
I do support. Thank you.
Thank you. This then concludes item 5, and we then proceed to item 6, as already indicated how we need to proceed. Over to you, Madam Twa and the team. Just to state that this is for the Island View Storage Pty Ltd's application for the revocation of a license issued for the operation of a petroleum storage facility in Isando, Gauteng Province. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Mapoli will assist in terms of highlighting the key issues in this submission. Through you, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members and everyone. The purpose of the submission is to request the Regulator Executive Committee to consider and approve the revocation of a license issued to BTT for the operation of petroleum storage facility in Isando, and the decision and reasons for decision document attached as Annexure 1. BTT submitted an application to NERSA for the revocation in terms of Section 24(1)A, where it states that the licensed facility or activity is no longer required. No objection or comments on BPT's application was received during publication period. The storage tanks were used to store lubricants for a certain customer who terminated their contract due to their commercial reason. So since September 2020, the storage tanks were no longer used for petroleum products or lubricants, but for storing of chemical, which does not require NERSA licenses. BTT does not anticipate these tanks will be used for petroleum products or lubricants in the foreseeable future, and therefore no longer require an operation license. I will hand over to Martin to add on the submission. Thank you. The recommendation is on page 7. Thank you.
Chair, if I may, I'll be very brief. Just in terms of the enhancements that we've done post the public hearing in table B, item 2, the last sentence says that we will engage with TMPA. We did meet with them. We did send a written request, but we didn't get the final written response to the lubricant data, because that was one of the concerns raised by the member. Is there demand for this product? However, having said that, we have learned from the TMPA that lubricants, some categories, and there is international specifications, actually is treated as chemicals, and therefore that is what TMPA is looking at, the data via the Port of Dermot, to see if there's possibly some of these categories which we as NAS refer to as lubricants, which is that. So we will report back, but the data has been verified and via market report, and we're also now trying to subscribe to a regular
Thank you. I think the key message has been received from our side, and may we then proceed, then members, with any questions or comments, as well as guidance emanating from your side. I will start off with you, Advocate Stolle. If any comments from your side? Questions or guidance, ma'am? Advocate Stolle? Okay, if there are none, let's then proceed to Madam Massetti.
It's being an opportunity for us to sort of intentionally drive transformation, because it may be that even the medium that we used, that was used for the advert, is not one that could reach out to people that might be interested in utilizing these facilities, so that we can, at least from our side, make an effort of pushing for transformation, for independence that might get an opportunity to take over those facilities. So that's one thing, and I think we must do it intentionally as the regulator. And then the second one is the rehabilitation. And if there was an allocation from the tariffs for rehabilitation of land, especially because we do have that provision in our regulations, I would like that to be addressed, Chairperson. Thank you. How do we deal with it, given the revocation? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Maseti.
Chairperson,
Advocate Stole?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You may proceed, ma'am.
Okay, Chair. My
I'm
understanding
just want to apologize that this side there's a lot of thunderstorm and all that. So please do not get disturbed by the background noise. I'll try to switch my mic on and off so that you can be able to talk without any disturbances. You may then proceed, ma'am.
No, thanks, Chairperson. We have the same this side where I live in Johannesburg as well, the Eber storm. Chair, I just wanted to get clarity from the team in terms of the revocation processes, because my understanding is that the revocation can only be done through the High Court. Is the team requesting that as NERSA we submit this particular application to revoke this particular license? And let's check if I've read it in a wrong manner. I would want to be given clarity on the process. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me leave the team to then respond to this quickly. Mr. Untit.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe starting with the CEO's question first. CEO, yeah, maybe it's the way we've worded it, but in this case, it was done on application by the licensee. They actually approached NERSA to ask for what's their options. We did indicate one of the options was to apply to amend the conditions to suspend certain conditions like reporting and those. The other option was then the revocation on their request. Then there's no need for going to the High Court. If NERSA initiated the process, then like in the recent case that was served at the ER, then that should be in that way. So this was on their request, and therefore we can duly process it in this manner. Then if Ms. Maseti posed two comments and questions, maybe the last one on rehabilitation, there's a clear statement under oath that these facilities will continue. Apologies, the thunderstorms is also now here at Kulavula House. Apologies. They made a clear statement that these facilities will be continued in operational state. So there will be no rehabilitation of no tanks at the facility. Therefore, that didn't trigger any need for such. But we do have the ability, even if revoked, that there's also a construction license issued for a separate activity that we can also then monitor. Maybe that is one of the suggestions, but there's no rehabilitation that will be taking place, no decommissioning of tanks that will be taking place. And in fact, they said there's another customer which wants to store chemicals, which also confirms that these tanks in question will not be changed. And I think that also speaks to the question about repurposing. What they have explained to us, these are high flash tanks that was designed for multi-products, and therefore worst case will require the flushing of the tank bottoms and maybe what they call a chemical washing or cleaning. So in terms of repurposing, it can be done. It has been done on other typical facilities that NERSA has licensed. We duly note your comment about the transformation, Ms. Maseti, and I think that is something we should take further, noting that we have been speaking to a BE party using BTT to offload product and then distribute further. So there is a BE party that we are contacting with, and maybe from my side we will then make just sure that we guide them as best as we can to be able to facilitate this transformation process. I hope I've answered the questions, Chair.
Okay, thanks. And Madam Massetti is showing a thumbs up that is happy with the response. So these matters still, you need to carry them going forward when looking at similar applications. But of importance also is to ensure that we also don't we also assist the new entrants by not actually be given sites that are not going to be actually assisting them. And actually it's more like becomes failed investments on their side, which means that we must be able to look at this in a balanced manner. With that, let's proceed to the recommendation. I note the CEO has now been able to better connect, but still having challenges with the board pet. The recommendation is for the Regulatory Executive Committee to consider and approve the revocation of a license issued to Island View Storage Pty Ltd, trading as Bidvest 10 terminals for the operation of a petroleum storage facility located in Isando, Gauteng Province, with a 5 licensed storage tanks having a total combined capacity of 960 cubic meters, and as well as also to approve the decision and reasons for decision document, which is attached as Annex A. By show of hands, members, if you support the recommendation, subject to the due consideration of the comments provided. Thanks, Madam Massetti. Thanks, Advocate Chole. I also do support. So on that basis, item number 6 is concluded, and we'll then move to item number 7, which is which deals with the registration of recent applications of 31 generation facilities in accordance with the licensing exemption and registration notice number 45266 of the 5th of October 2021. Mr. Mavuso.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I will present this myself, but firstly, I want to just do a correction. In terms of the submission itself, it's written 21 November 2022. This was supposed to have served in the last REC. So that's why there's that date, but there was an administrative glitch. So that is why today it's serving here. That is number 1. But the purpose of this submission, Chair, is to request the REC of NERSA to approve the 28 applications to register for operations of generation facilities listed in Table 1 for generation of electricity for own use. Secondly, to approve the 3 applications for commercial use. Thirdly, to approve the draft decision and reason for decision documents for each of the applications. So I'm not going to dwell too much as you had directed because this document has been read. But the salient features of this application, Chair, is that all the applications have connection approval from licensed distributors, which is quite significant because the connection agreement with Eskom has been a big issue with the embedded generators. But I can see now there's improvement that by the time when they come to NERSA, they've already have the connection agreement. From our side, we only seek a letter called a letter of concern, meaning that you have applied. So this is quite significant. 20 of the applications will be connected to Eskom and 11 to the municipalities. 29 of the applications are in the space of like PV and 1 wind technology. The largest capacity, Chair, in terms of these registration applications is that it is, we have been able to, probably this is the third one, where they've applied for the capacity of 100 megawatts, which is about 2.5 billion. This is the kind of appetite now for these generation facilities that it can even reach this level, just one project. Only 4 of the applications, Chair, are above from 1 megawatt and above. I think, Chair, this report can be enhanced because, with the information that we have, there's so much that dynamic that we can actually draw out of this. For example, on top of my head, I can actually plot the ESCOM and municipality potential sales loss from this. I'm thinking 5 years' time we'll be able to do that as people are migrating from the grid to own use and others. Chair, if this approval that we are seeking is given a go-ahead, we would have processed these applications in 27 days. So there's a correction there in the document of 18 because that 18 belonged to the 21st of November. But I can say, Chair, very confidently that still with the glitches that we have, we still process comfortably within the 45 days that we find our procedures. In conclusion, Chair, the applications have all paid the registration, which is the 200 rands, and the applicants are compliant with the amended notice and compliant with the Electricity Regulation Act. I submit, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mavuso. Over to members for questions, comments, as well as guidance by show of hands.
Chairperson, I don't have questions, but I do support the submission. I think the introduction was quite comprehensive to cover the main issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Advocate Stole.
Chair, I also do support the submission. However, I don't know in terms of the timing that Mr. Mavuso indicated to say that the submission was due to have served at the last meeting. However, it didn't. But if you look at the timing in terms of when did we receive the applications, I think there is some improvement to be done by the team because some of the applications are dated as having been received in August. So if we are to improve on our turnaround times, Chairperson, I think that is an area that I believe the team needs to work on because if it's August and now December, even if it was October, the lapse of time there, it's more than what we had planned to consider these and make sure that we deal with them in a speedy manner. Thanks, Chairperson.
Thank you. Maybe before I proceed to the recommendation, I just want to raise 2 issues. There could be 3, but it's just the first issue being what Advocate Stolle has already alluded to. I look, for example, at I think it's one by Klein Paradise, which was, yes, they sent it in August, but it was effective from the 7th of September, as well as for Tungela operations, which was for the 14th of September, and it was deemed effective on the 14th of September. And in between the time, we have received other applications and dealt with them. So I don't know how come some they don't become part of the tranche of submissions that were dealt with prior to this meeting of today. So the deviation in terms of the time, the turnaround times, it kind of skews this. I would say the estimation of how how quickly we have turnaround in processing these applications. So, Mr. Mavuso, I don't know, somehow maybe it's an operation matter that you will have to look into with the team to make sure that we at least even the standard deviation when it comes to the time, it's not much. They kind of fall within the same bracket. If it's 18 days, we can have maybe 20 days, 26 days, but to have more than that, I think it's a bit problematic, but maybe it's an operation issue you need to deal with. And then the second thing from my side is when it comes to when you're looking at the purpose in terms of what you seek the energy regulator to do in terms of the approval. If you may please just use the proper language. That is, now I'm talking of the legalese, that is in line with Section 9 of ERA. I remember at some stage I asked this question when I saw the issue of registration certificate, that the application was for the issuing of a registration certificate to these applicants for generation facilities or to generate electricity using the various technologies indicated. And then was told, no, this is in line with the legalese having changed. Can you please just standardize on this one so that we talk what the law says in terms of Section 9 as well as the notice made thereunder. So those are my comments. I don't know if they do find a landing with you, Mr. Mavuso, without actually delaying anyone.
No, Chair, everything has been, it's accepted. It's the way you articulated. Thank you very much.
Thank you then. We're looking forward then to improvements, as well as just to indicate, because there's going to be a report on the issue that you highlighted around some kind of analysis and conclusion that is going to serve before the ELS. If we may just talk to that in some, maybe just one paragraph, or whenever you're submitting this, so that we keep that in sight, and also to make sure that we don't end up here maybe saying stating certain things that might not necessarily be talking to the actual analysis done, so that you are always consistent in terms of our messaging. Please, if you help us with that. Members, those are just comments from my side and acceptable from management to then implement going forward. We zoom into the recommendations, which is to recommend that the Regulator Executive Committee approves the 28 applications to register for the operation for the generation facilities for generating electricity for own use, and then approve the 3 applications to register for the operation of generation facilities for generating electricity for commercial use, and approve the draft decision and reasons for decision documents for each applicant attached as Annex B, subject to incorporation of the comments, including even the amendment of the way the recommendation is formulated. By show of hands, I'm going to go back and read through the applicants for into the record. But for now, members, if you can show by raising your hands if you support the recommendation. Thank you, Madam Massetti. Advocate Stolle, thank you. I see your hand also. I also do support. Maybe then to zoom in for the record. I know there are many, but I will then just name them each here. There is Afrit PTY Ltd for 0.33 megawatt solar photovoltaic, which is at Roslyn, Pretoria, Gauteng Province, in the city of Tshwane Municipality. There is Augusta Steel Pty Ltd, 0.66 megawatt solar photovoltaic at 1 Van Dyk Road, Boksburg, in the Gauteng Province, in the city of Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Municipality. 3 Eldorin Plus Trust, 3.6 megawatt solar photovoltaic Douglas Siachuma Local Municipality in Northern Cape Province. And then 4, Fair Acres Products Pty Ltd, 0.11 megawatt PV, solar PV at PTN 49 of Farm Beltfontein in Krugersdorp, Gauteng Province. 5, Betacame Pty Ltd, 0.15 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Lamington NP 23 near UPR 89 at Underbeck in the Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma local municipality in KwaZulu-Natal province. 6 is Gati Ice Cream Pty Ltd, 0.6 megawatt solar photovoltaic at F625115 Polaris Road in Lansdowne, Cape Town, Western Cape Province. 7, Gladeleif Beperk, which is 0.187 megawatt solar photovoltaic at portion 151/5 of Farm Whispering, Stainsburg, Eastern Cape Province. 8 is Greystone Crossing Pty Ltd at 0.35 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Waterfall East at Rustenburg, Northwest Province, in the Rustenburg local municipality. And then the Highland Feeds Pty Ltd is the 9th one with a 0.189 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Lot 24, Winterton Settlement, KwaZulu-Natal Province. And then at number 10 is Investage 183 Pty Ltd, 0.11 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Hyde Park extension 56 plus Korfwood Hook Hyde Park at Gauteng Province. And then 11th, Jupet and Firster Agri Pty Ltd, 0.15 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Salt Plucky local municipality in Northern Cape Province. Then 12th is Carlos Farming Pty Ltd, 0.116 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Bedefordine Farm, Prince Alfred Hamlet, Wiesenberg local municipality in the Western Cape Province. And then 13 is Glen Paradise Endome Trust at 0.11 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Get 7 Mamokalis Kral 420 JQ at Brets, Madibeng local municipality, Northwest Province. 14th is Lawn Farm Pty Ltd, 0.22 megawatt solar photovoltaic at 20 Wharf Way, Krabo 716 at Western Cape Province. And then 15th is Lawrence Bourderay Pty Ltd, 0.112 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Falbanks 564, Paul and in Bloemfontein, Free State Province. Then we've got again 16 Lawrence Bourderay Pty Ltd, 0.15 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Plus Korfhoek, Petrosberg, and Bloemfontein, Free State Province. Then at 17, we've got Redefined Properties Limited at 0.6 megawatt solar photovoltaic at corner Johan Road and Hendrik Potgieter Road in Roodepoort, Gauteng Province. At 18, we've got Race Braikekens Pty Ltd, 0.12 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Farm Espor, Reeds Free State Province. And then at 19, we've got Reeds Bral Kekens Pty Ltd, 0.12 megawatt. It's also solar photovoltaic. It is at Farm Tupedo at Reeds Free State Province. We've got 20 Proven Vanadium Mine at 25 megawatt solar photovoltaic. It's in Bujanala Platinum District, Rustenburg, Northwest Province. And then 21, we've got S&F Farming Pty Ltd, a 0.35 megawatt solar photovoltaic. It is at Farm Lake Warden, Bloemhof in Northwest Province. 22, we've got Sizwe Mills CC at 0.22 megawatt solar photovoltaic at Tatam Road, Bergville, KwaZulu-Natal Province. Also, we've got 23, Spear Holding Company Pty Ltd at 0.9 megawatt solar photovoltaic at F103257 Hewlett Avenue, Epping Industrial in Epping, Cape Town in the Western Cape Province. Then we've got 24 is Terra Dew 3 Pty Ltd, a 0.93 megawatt solar photovoltaic at 10 Atomic Street, Valkania, Brakpan, Gauteng Province. 25, we've got Tungela Operations Pty Ltd, 4 megawatt of solar photovoltaic at Zonderfontein Mine, Leandra Road, Emelo, Mpumalanga Province. Then at 26, we've got 8 Right Boerdery Beperk at 0.22 megawatt of solar photovoltaic at Farm 8 Rai Priska, Siatemba local municipality in the Northern Cape Province. 27, we've got Urban Growth Developments Pty Ltd at 0.55 megawatt of solar photovoltaic at 15 Jan van Riebeeck Drive, Dennenberg, Paarl in the Western Cape Province. 28, we've got Vierbier Boerdery Ehrenberg at 0.35 megawatt of solar photovoltaic in portion 6 of Farm Malgasfontein in Coligny, Ditsoboga local municipality in the Northwest Province. This concludes those that are for own use, and those generation facilities for commercial use. There are 3 of them. The first one being K20162044009 Pty Ltd at 0.36 megawatt of solar photovoltaic located in 219 Durban Street, Eatonhage, Kariga, Eastern Cape Province. And then the second one being the Saxon Park Trust at 0.2 megawatt of solar photovoltaic at F4088 Divida Street, Ferndale, Brackenfell, Cape Town in the Western Cape Province. Then the last one, and the third and the last one of those for generation facility for commercial purposes is Vetberg Wind Power, RF Pty Ltd at 100 megawatt of wind turbine facility. It's located at the remainder of Farm Jankiesfontein number 164 and Farm Tweedside number 151, which is situated in the Lensburg municipality in the Western Cape Province. Total of all this is 141.064 megawatt of generation capacity. This then concludes item 7, and we then proceed to item 8. Over to you. I think it's Madam Agoda to assist us in this regard.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. Yeah, we've got two applications here from Sasol, and the first one being the amendment of the trading license application. And Ms. Ndonfuthi Tabete will take us through the report, Chair. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. Thank you, Chairperson and Mr. Milato. This is an application by Sasol Gas Pty Ltd to amend the conditions of its license for trading in gas over the gas transmission facilities situated in Gauteng, Free State, and Mpumalanga provinces. The application was made in terms of Section 24(1)(a) of the Gas Act. The Energy Regulator granted the applicant a construction license on 8 August 2022, and the transmission facility in the Kliporsche area was made in honor of the request by the applicant's customer that had acquired a new customer to supply with gas. The applicant seeks to interconnect the customer to the gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg. Therefore, the applicant's customer needs to be added on a list of customers that are interconnected to the gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg, and also add a new GIS map. Please see Annexure C and D. The gas transmission facility to be interconnected to the main gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg consists of a 7-meter pipeline and a high-pressure customer meter station with a high-pressure reducing station. Notices of this amendment application were published on the 29th of August 2022, and there were no objections from third parties. Therefore, there are no issues of public concern. On 7 November 2022, the Energy Regulator members had a briefing session, and matters raised were addressed accordingly, as shown in paragraph 6.2 of the submission. Based on the information available, it is recommended that the Regulator Executive Committee approve the following. Point A, which is Sasol Gas application for an amendment to the conditions of its license for trading in gas over the gas transmission facilities situated in Gauteng, Free State, and Mpumalanga provinces. Point B, which is the attached decision and the reasons for decision document attached as Annexure 1. And point C, the attached addenda. Kindly see Annexure 2. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. You nearly went over the limit, but thanks. I think it was, you covered all areas for members to then assist me with any comments, questions, or guidance. Over to members by show of hands. I see no hands being raised.
Oh, I was going to say from my side, I do not have any comments. I do support the submission as presented. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Madam Massetti. Madam Massetti, can you hear me?
Yes, support, Chairperson. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. From my side, I'm happy that you have included issues that were raised in the pre-hearing meeting, and you attended to all those to those matters. The only thing that I would just highlight to you is that please just be consistent when it comes to redacted information, to make sure that whatever has been deemed confidential is highlighted as such. Like if you look at your 6.2, the table under 6.2, and that you in future please just assist by naming the tables. In other words, have a proper referencing of any table. It helps. But with that said, I take it that you're taking note of what I've just said, and therefore proceed to the recommendation, which is for the Regulator Executive Committee to approve Sasol Gas's application for an amendment to the conditions of its license for trading in gas over the transmission facilities situated in the Gauteng, Free State, and Mpumalanga provinces, as well as the attached decision and reasons for decision document attached as Annexure 1, and the attached addenda under Annexure 2. By show of hands, members, if you support that recommendation. Thank you, Madam Massetti. Thank you, Advocate Tole. I also support. This then concludes item 8, and then we proceeding to item 9, which is the application by Sasol Gas Pty Ltd to amend the license conditions of its license to operate the gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg. Over to you, Mr. Mulato and your team.
Yeah, Mr. Tabete will take us through this one again, Chair. Thank you.
Help us, Madam Tabete, just take the matters read and highlight the salient features of the submission. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson and Mr. Mulato. This is an application by Sasol Gas Pty Ltd to amend the conditions of its license to operate the gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg by including the gas transmission facility in the Kliporchi area of the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Municipality in the Gauteng province. The application was made in terms of Section 24(1)(a) of the Gas Act. In this amendment application, the applicant seeks to interconnect its customer located in the Kliporchi area to the main gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg. Therefore, the newly constructed gas transmission facility needs to be added to the conditions of a license to operate the gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg. Please see Annexure A and F. The gas transmission facility consists of a 7-meter pipeline and a high-pressure customer meter station and with a high-pressure reducing station. This infrastructure is meant to enable the interconnection of Sasol Gas's customer to its gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg. The schematic drawing of the facility is shown in Figure 3 under paragraph 18. On 7 November 2022, the Energy Regulator members had a briefing session and matters raised were addressed accordingly in paragraph 6.2 of the submission. Based on the information available, it is recommended that the REC approve the following. Point A, an application by Sasol Gas for the amendment of the conditions of the license to operate the gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg by interconnecting the gas transmission facility consisting of a pipeline and a high-pressure customer meter station with a high-pressure reducing station in the Kliporchi area of the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Municipality in the Gauteng province. And point B, the attached decision and the reasons for decision, see Annexure 1. And point C, the attached addenda, kindly see Annexure 2. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Madam Tabete. Please do note that the comments that were put forth for item 8 also apply to item 9 from my side. Any comments, questions or guidance, members? Advocate Stolle?
Chairperson, I've got none and I do support the submission. Thanks.
Thank you. Madam Maseti?
Chairperson, I don't have any additions. I'm fine with the submission and I'm supporting it. Thank you.
Okay. If you may then confirm by show of hands that you do support this submission, this recommendation, subject to the comments that you put forth for item 8 that are also applicable here. Thanks for your raised hands and confirming your support. I also do confirm the support from my side, and therefore the Regulator Executive Committee hereby approves the application by Sasol Gas for the amendment of the conditions to operate the gas transmission facility from Springs to Sasolburg, as well as the attached decision and reasons for decision document attached as Annexure 1 and the attached addenda, which is Annexure 2. That then concludes the item 9. And you've got your approval, Mr. Mulato and the team. This then takes us to the conclusion of all the matters that are for discussion in an open meeting. Members, I just want to see by your raised hand if you do support that the meeting be now closed to the public in terms of Section 8,